As an international student athlete, I have a unique perspective where I can observe differences between different cultures. In my case, norms and issues in Trinidad and Tobago can vary from those in the United States and the rest of the world. Thus, I've been forced to broaden my scope, especially with regard to social justice and ensuring it is brought about. When considering my own identity, the color of my skin was not a major factor, but now that I'm in the US, I realize it does have an impact on how I am seen or perceived. Discrimination is an issue I have now been exposed to, and everyone should have a hand in bringing about justice against this global and historical struggle. If you don't advocate, then you are part of the problem. Make a change.
Police brutality, institutional racism, and many other inhumane facets that are used to bring and keep minorities down is doing nothing more than making society harder to live in.
Again, you have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over just like throwing food around, or they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is gonna change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement.
If all lives mattered, there would be no need for Black Lives Matter.
But I really think we all collectively, as a species, need to emphasize and learn how to be nicer to each other.
Paskey will always remember the college football player's kindness to her son.
Pissed out with anybody.
And yet he picked
Bo.
Bo, who was sitting by himself.
Yes. So I'm just moved with emotion at his generosity and his kindness.
How is it gonna benefit you to making them feel bad?
If you're not nice to people, it might come back to you. Treat them how you want to be treated.
Perseverance. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. No matter what you do in life, you will have hardships. And you will have to overcome those hardships. And you will need perseverance. Perseverance to get through things like being away from family while in the military. Being away at college, studying for those tests, preparing for something difficult, or even learning how to walk again. No matter what you do, no matter what you go through, you will need perseverance.
Earth is our home. However, our home is dying right in front of our eyes. It has been calling for our help for many of years, yet we still ignore its cries. Forest fires, pollution, and global warming are all consequences of our poor actions. If we want Earth to survive, we must quickly and efficiently start to change our ways and help out. As David Orr once said, "When we heal the earth, we heal ourselves."
America, we are very fortunate to have a wide range of produce at our expense, but oftentimes we forget the work that goes into getting this produce and how hard it is. We may also fail to recognize who exactly it is that's doing this work. Of the 3 million farm workers in the United States, it is estimated that nearly half of them are undocumented immigrants. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, these workers were deemed essential and forced to go to work. This was hard for them, though, because a number of the jobs they do require them to be within 6 feet of each other. Some workers claimed it was virtually impossible to follow social distancing guidelines. On top of this, in 2020, workers were forced to work amid some of the worst fires the state had ever seen. Moreover, workers often live in inadequate housing that are overcrowded, making everyone more susceptible to the spread of COVID. These immigrants fail to acquire government benefits because of language barriers, immigration status, as well as a number of other things. You can help these very much underpaid and overworked farm workers by urging your local lawmakers to sign bills AB 2043, 2164, and 2165. These will mandate better workplace conditions and give farm workers better access to government resources. In the world that we live in today, with all of the social injustice and fighting and arguing and sides being picked, I think one of the most important things in society, one of the most important traits and values is empathy. Being empathetic towards others and understanding where they come from and how that impacts them. Understanding that everyone is different and that that's what makes us unique. Understanding that our uniqueness is what makes us all special. By being more empathetic, we can become closer to equality for all.
Like an astronaut that's scared of heights, with a heart that's beating at the speed of light. You've been waiting for this feeling all your life. Sometimes it's just hard to realize when you start
Hello, my name is Cortland Ford, and racial and social injustices is something we need to discuss today. Hundreds of innocent black lives have been taken off because of the color of their skin. People like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, and many other black folks have gotten their lives taken away and just treated unfairly. Cops racially profiling us and seeing us as a threat all the time. This is frightening. You have many cases where black and brown people are treated much differently than white people. We're pushed into prison and get our rights taken away from us, and it's a cycle that continues to happen. We need to continue to push for change and work together